we have energized and enthusiastic kids from SmartelligentZ team in San Jose who are here to present to us today about their projects. Here's the SmartelligentZ team.
Good afternoon. So I'm sure everyone has heard of the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. But how many of us actually apply these 3 R's to our daily lives? Not many of us. Well, SmartelligentZ has come up with 3 new R's that apply directly to our lives. Those are our life, our future, and our solutions. Imagine you wake up in the morning and all electricity has been stripped away from you. Can you imagine living life without all these appliances and advancements in technology? No, we can't. But why can't we? We cannot live life without all these appliances and electricity today because our life revolves around technology.
Believe it or not, electricity is essential to our modern-day life. However, understanding the usage or fundamentals of electricity is as important. And this electricity has to be transmitted from power generators in factories to industries and our homes. But how does this happen? This is called electrical wiring. Learning the concept of series and parallel circuits are important because if you learn the concept of series and parallel circuit, you learn how to build circuits, and learning how to build circuits helps you learn how to do electrical wiring. Take a look at these circuits built by SmartelligentZ students. If electricity is so important to our life, then where does this electricity come from?
70% of every developed nation's electricity comes from fossil fuel power plants. This is essentially true for the United States as well. Electricity is in demand. Let me tell you guys some if and then scenarios. If the higher the demand, then the greater the supply we would need. And if there's a greater supply, then that means that there will be a larger number of power plants. If there's a larger number of power plants, there will be a larger amount of coal, oil, and gas consumption. Coal, oil, and gas are all fossil fuel.
Man, I used to think that electricity came from the outlet in the wall. But of course, we all know that's not the real case, right? Raise your hand if you know exactly where electricity comes from. Wake up, people! Electricity comes from burning of fossil fuels, and fossil fuels take at least 300 million years to form. Do you know how fossil fuels are formed? More specifically, coal. Coal was formed 300 million years ago, and when giant plants died in swamps. At that time, it was even before the dinosaurs were born. Can you believe it? During the process, some nasty gases have been released to the environment, and also some heavy metals. Some gases are carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, and sulfur dioxide. And some heavy metals are lead, mercury, and arsenic. This in turn pollutes the environment. Burning of fossil fuels not only causes pollution, but also depletions, which means fossil fuels is non-renewable energy. Do you think this is a problem? Think about it.
Take, for example, a biodome. A biodome is a self-sustained ecosystem that can come in many shapes and sizes. Within its enclosed space, a plant is provided with the 4 fundamentals of its growth process, leaving an individual free to simply observe. Those 4 fundamentals are sunlight, water, air, and soil. Take, for example, the biodome I hold in my hand. This displays the success of such biodomes in that this pea plant left in sunlight has grown all on its own. The soil within has provided it with its nutrients, and because the top is sealed off, the water inside has been able to replenish itself through the water cycle. Amazing, right? It is the ideal we are hungry for, an ecosystem with no pollution, fresh water, everything pure. But how is that possible?
Pollution is in the air, water, and land. It's everywhere. Our ecosystem is suffering more errors than one. Some of these pollutants are carbon dioxide, lead, and oil spills. Take a look at the top picture. The top picture shows industries polluting the air. The bottom picture shows smog from Los Angeles. Would you ever want to drink that water? I wouldn't. Think about what it would happen if you drank that water. You would die or get really sick. Take a look at this dump. Would you ever want to live in it, live near it, or clean it up? I wouldn't. What is this? This is our waste. What are the sources of pollution? Industrial waste, littering, and oil and antifreeze leaking from cars are 3 sources of land pollution.
This leads us directly into health impacts. Air pollution can cause bronchitis, asthma, pneumonia, and emphysema. Say hi to Bob the bird. Yesterday, Bob was flying halfway through the air during his morning fly. Until today, he was flying through the evil smoke all around the world. And tomorrow, he might die of chronic respiratory diseases, lung cancer and heart disease, or damage to his brain, nerves, liver, and kidneys. If we want to change all of these events, then we must protect our environment. Water pollution can cause acid rain and reproductive defects. Our water and land, whatever the pollution is, affects our food chain, our ecosystem, everything. It affects all of them. But how are we affected? Say we go fishing out on the dock. We may not see it, but if we keep throwing trash into the oceans, all of those fish will get sick. And if you keep throwing all of those trash in the oceans, then all those fish will get sick. I catch it and it ends up on my dinner plate. But whose fault is it? It's your fault and your fault. And it's even my fault. Someone needs to save those fish. And who needs to save them? We need to save those fish. So, what is the alternative to this worldwide epidemic?
That is renewable energy, of course. The solution lies with the source of renewable energy, which is the sun. The sun is our best friend, so we must treat it well, right? So what exactly is renewable energy? Renewable energy will never fall apart. It will never run out. And it can be replenished easier, faster, and is not environmentally toxic. Such examples are wind energy, hydro energy, solar energy, biomass, and geothermal. So if this can help the environment as well as helping ourselves, why don't we do it? You can help cut your energy bill by using solar panels, for example. So now I know solar panels are expensive, but they can pay off in the long run. It compares to planting thousands of trees because that is how much carbon dioxide emissions are reduced. Not only that, but it can protect you from rising energy costs, conserves water, and also preserves the Earth's supply of non-renewable resources or natural resources. What are the smaller changes that we can do? So in our own home, we have an old TV or a CD lying around on the floor. What not to do? Don't toss it in the trash or don't destroy it because they do have toxic chemicals that you can't avoid. Go to Goodwill and also CD discs. You can go to Project KOPEG website. They have a website and they have certain instructions that you can follow. So what I do with these used batteries or those printer cartridges in the office, what you shouldn't do is don't toss them in the trash, but what you should do is go to the tech museum or any hardware store. Yeah. And also you can go to Green Disc, like they have certain instructions that you can follow. So what I do with this old medicine or vegetable oil or any cooking oil, basically. So what not to do, don't toss it down the drain or don't flush it down the toilet because that goes through our water system. So what you should do is take it to a local pharmacy and they can recycle it for you. Or you can go to San Jose Tallow for cooking oil. They can recycle that for you as well. So these are all changes that we can do or can apply it to our daily life. So do you think we can really do this? Can we really make a difference?
Yes, we can. Simple tasks and small changes can make a huge difference. How can we save energy? One example. Almost every single household has these kinds of light bulbs, but just by replacing 3 of those with these kinds of renewable and energy-saving light bulbs, we can take 3.5 million cars off the road. And always use energy-saving appliances. It can save you 30 to 40% of savings.
Turn down your thermostat up to 2 degrees Fahrenheit. This will save you up to 4% in savings. And always unplug or switch off appliances that are not being used.
Sun-drying your clothes just 1 out of 4 times gives you 25% in savings. And what about showers? Take only 5-minute showers. You may not notice how much water you use if you take more than 5 minutes, but you waste gallons and gallons of water. And try and minimize baths. How many of you guys turn off the faucet while brushing?
Well, that's very good. Now I guess I don't have to tell you about how turning off your faucet while brushing your teeth will save you money and water.
Well, another way to conserve water, what about using drip irrigation? Drip irrigation saves you money and saves you water. And water the plants in the night compared to the day, because if you water the plants in the day, you give them enough water, yet they don't receive enough. So water the plants in the night. This is helping us and our homes. But what about another main part of society? What about the environment?
Use public transportation. If you know someone that's going to the same place at the same time as you, try to call them up and coordinate a ride, such as school, because that'll be reducing the traffic on the road, which will get you there faster. It'll reduce the pollution in the air, and it'll save your gas money. And also try to walk, bike, skateboard to anywhere you need to go that's close by, because try to reduce your car usage. This will reduce the pollution in the air too. And don't forget to recycle. Steel first of all. The average U.S. household uses 90 pounds of steel each year. And if you recycle this, you will save 144 kilowatts of energy.
And what about glass?
Recycle that, of course.
Recycling just 1 glass bottle saves 0.4 kilowatts of energy. The average U.S. household uses 383 containers per year.
And always remember to recycle aluminum cans, because the Americans use 200 million aluminum cans per day. And 1 aluminum can save 0.35 kilowatts of energy. So all in all, if you recycle all these 200 million aluminum cans, you would be saving 70 million kilowatts of energy per day. So if making these small changes saves the environment, which is including the air, makes your health better, then what are people waiting for? So at the end of the day, when you're looking for someone to blame, look in the mirror, because the culprit is staring right back at you.
So can we make the environment better? Yes, we can.
It's our life, our future,
And our environment.
Let's give a big shout out to the SmartelligentZ team. Wow, what a great presentation. The facts, the solution, and the suggestions were simply superb. Great job, guys. Great job.